you took a home ec class when you were in high school? And how many of you went out of high school knowing how to apply for a loan, build credit, or balance a checkbook? Okay. 20 years ago, home ec classes were used to teach students how to cook, clean, and sew. The focus was on family and home management. There's been a transition from home ec to food and consumer science. Food and consumer science teaches not only about family and home management, but also about human development, personal and family finance, housing, food nutrition, food service, wellness, and consumer sciences. Today we'll be exploring the potential positive outcomes for food and consumer science courses. As independent adults, we need to know the basic financial and management skills. We'll discuss the desire from high school students to learn more about life management, as well as how we can solve this problem, and how high schools can ensure that graduates are prepared for the real world. So first, let's look at the need for food and consumer science courses. You may be asking yourself, why do we need food and consumer science courses? Well, the number of home economic classes that are offered in high schools has significantly decreased in the last decade. According to an article written by Gwen Ignat entitled, "Whatever Happened to Home Economic Classes," that appeared on takeout.com, in 2011 there were 3.5 million students enrolled in food and consumer science or home ec courses. And this has been a decrease of 38% in the last decade. Parents have expressed a concern over their children's lack of financial knowledge. According to an article written by Daniel Bortz entitled, "Why Most High Schoolers Don't Know How to Manage Their Money," that appeared on usnews.com, a survey of 100,000 parents that was completed in August of 2011, 64% of parents with college-bound children were worried about their children's ability to manage money. Seems like a lot. And it isn't just parents who are concerned about their financial knowledge. According to a different survey of 1,132 American teens done during February of 2011, completed by the investment bank Charles Schwab, 86% of 16 to 18-year-olds said that they would rather learn about money management in a class before making mistakes in the real world. To go on, 75% of those 16 to 18-year-olds also said that learning more about money management, including budgeting, saving, and investment, is one of their top priorities. So students aren't just worried about their financial knowledge. In the same 2011 study done by Charles Schwab, 62% of students said that they would like to learn more about the kinds of insurance that they'll need when they're on their own, as well as how to invest money and make it grow, how income taxes work, and strategies for saving money. Hearing about how many students desire a more food and consumer science course-driven education, let's dive into a solution. So, how can we solve this problem? We can encourage students to take food and consumer science courses now. And these are some high school courses that will kind of meet those food and consumer science basics. So we have child development, clothing and textiles, consumer economics, personal financial management, food science, housing, human development, meal management, nutrition in the life cycle, and many more. And these are just high schools around the Metro Valley. If students aren't able to have access to high schools, we also have IDLA, which a lot of students prefer to take IDLA classes over regular high school classes. And these are some of the classes that IDLA offers. So there's career and life planning, families, communities, and culture, high school to college transition, intro to culinary arts, intro to drafting, lifetime fitness, and economics. Now there are less on the IDLA classes, but you still have the opportunity to take them. Okay, and so the other thing that we can do is that we can change the graduation requirements to include a semester of food and consumer science have a course. And so according to nextstepsidaho.gov, a graduation prep website sponsored by the Idaho Board of Education, as of March 21st, 2019, high school graduates are required to complete 9 credits of language arts, 6 credits of mathematics, 6 credits of science, 5 credits of social studies, 2 credits of humanities, and 1 credit of health, 17 electives. There's only one of those that will satisfy a food and consumer science course, and that's the 1 credit of health. If we require students to take food and consumer science courses, then graduates will have an easier transition from high school to real life. We can prepare students to function in modern society. So we can encourage a change to ensure that future high school students are well prepared to transition into modern society. All high schools should graduate with basic life management skills. High schools, as well as other community organizations, should make strides to ensure that students graduate with at least the ability to balance a checkbook and file taxes. In conclusion, we discussed the desire from high school students, as well as the desire from parents, to learn more about life management. We discussed how we can solve this problem and how high schools should make strides to ensure that high school graduates are prepared for the real world. Let's encourage food and consumer science courses now so we can have a better prepared graduates for the future. Are there any questions? Yes.
So did you have one in high school?
I had one in middle school, but it was just taught us how to put on a button and boil an egg. So I wish now that I could have known how to file for taxes, what a W-4 is, how to decide which insurance benefits I need, anything like that. Also, making healthier choices with food, how to cook healthier foods, how to set up a budget, how to follow that budget, things that you should know instead of getting out of high school. And one thing that I want to highlight is that just because they don't offer them in high school, they say, oh, just take them in college. But if I'm learning art history in high school, when I could be learning how to file my taxes, that's where the important information should be taught in high school rather than taking other classes separately. So, any other questions?